of those leaders still today. They give me a lot of inspiration, and they lead me to the three themes that I'm thinking as we move forward into 2019. And that is leading, learning, and engaging in dermatology nursing. So I'm going to start with leading. One thing I say is we in the DNA must not lapse in our leadership role in the excellence of dermatology nursing education. The competition is diverse today. We know that even just in the last 5 years, that competition for our members has grown significantly. We know you have other options for education. We appreciate that you're sitting here today and have chosen us for education. But we must strive to keep our leadership and to keep our excellence in education. And we do that through our continued support of good DNA infrastructure. We have worked hard over 37 years to build a good infrastructure, and we're continuing. We want to move on further. So, as we move forward into 2019, I want to make a commitment for myself, hopefully the board, and DNA to continue being the organization for all members to meet their own professional goals. We must be flexible, we must be responsive, and we must be innovative in our approach to education and as an organization in general in order to capture new members and keep our ongoing members. We want to provide ongoing and new types of educational opportunities for our members, and that is to continue to develop our technology, publications, and our conferencing. We've got to keep new and innovative approaches going. We need to continue to support, I pledge my support, to continue for innovative growth for our NP Society. We recognize your importance to us. We recognize that you have very unique needs as being a dermatology provider. Want to continue our growth of our own infrastructure. We're constantly working on our website, trying to make it a little bit better. We will continue to grow that. We will continue to grow the networking and collaboration with our partners. We have the tools in place. We just need to continue and get better. Leading. We want to continue to be leaders in advocacy. This past summer, I had the privilege of going to the AADA Advocacy 3-day conference. We are part, the DNA is part of the Coalition of Skin Diseases, and many of you may not know that, but it's rare skin diseases to the common ones of psoriasis. These foundations, these advocacy groups are all part of the Coalition of Skin Diseases, as are the Dermatology Nursing Association. It was just a very, very enlightening experience. I met a lot of families, patients that come out to advocate for their particular rare diseases, and I hope to have a few of these more outstanding patients that I met at next year's convention in Denver. So advocacy groups. Coalition also with our industry. We need to continue good coalition efforts with both industry and other partners who have like goals, like visions to the DNA, and that can contribute to our educational goals of our members. I'm committed to trying to reestablish our DNA mentorship programs, and we all need, especially our elders of our group, we all need to be mentoring our younger generations. We need the younger generations to rise up to the call to volunteer and to be our next leaders. We need to, I'm also committed to supporting, and I know the board is, our new certifying boards, the two of them, one for NP and one for RN. Thank you, Paula and Kathy, for your efforts in leading in the next year. There are some exciting, I think, new initiatives and things coming. Congratulations for getting the exam online. I hope we can follow up with the RNs soon. So, DNA strives to have excellence in dermatology education. Today we know we have a very competitive environment. There's a lot of different places that you can go for your education. We want to continue to be the leaders. We want to continue to grow our technology and continue to drive down costs if at all possible. We know, if there's one thing I've heard a lot at this conference, is that you are looking for return on investment. So we want you to look here and be able to get CEs and enough. We know that the NPs in particular have a lot of requirements for CEs. So we'll continue to look at that as we do our programming for Denver and see if we can offer a little bit more. We recognize the big thing that has changed over time is that our employers are just not funding, or if they fund, they do minimal funding for nurse education outside of the workplace. So that is a real challenge for both membership and the cost of coming to convention. That has been a big, big change in the environment. So we want to, in 2019, continue to look for cost-effective ways to help in education in both online offerings in our CE and certainly even in our conference next year, which we think we can make it a little bit less expensive for members. But there's also some very interesting initiatives going on, and I think Theresa acknowledged that we have some very active committees, and I just want to highlight this because I think this gets at two things: continuing education goals and trying to reduce costs for our members who just don't come because of finances. So I wanted to highlight the EAC just because they're doing a terrific job of cranking out some and repurposing some of our best programs from convention and that, and putting them on the CE Center. Most recently, just 2 weeks ago, I don't know if you should have gotten a bulletin, but we put out the grand rounds that occurred this summer. So there's 3 grand rounds for viewing too for CEs. So we thank the EAC. I think they're going to have a busy year again this year. The Recognition Committee, soon to be changed to the Awards and Scholarship Committee. One thing we learned from a recent survey is there's people that say, what's the recognition? What are we talking about? We know it doesn't have that ring for some people to understand what is the recognition program. So we're just going to be pretty blunt and just put awards, scholarships under our membership benefits. And the other big thing we're going to do is we're going to run it year-round, starting October to October. So that's higher visibility of anybody coming in to just thinking about joining and they want to see what their membership benefits are. They're going to see awards and scholarships that are open year-round, ending in October, so that we can score and award things. But I think that's going to be a big change. We hope that visibility will help. What are some of the new awards that the committee came up with this year? We are giving out fees to pay for the certification exams for both RN and NP. Of course, there's a limitation, but if we get more people and more people applying, we will try to increase that if at all possible. We also are let me see, I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought here. Yeah, convention. Do you know that there are convention registration fees up to 4 being given out? We only had, we had 2 applications, they weren't eligible. We are asking people that they have to have 2 continuous years of membership before they're eligible for any of these awards. So we're trying to make access to our examinations and conferences a little bit easier. Both of these initiatives are going to be on the website by early spring, so keep looking. The membership committee also is launching a member get member. I know we've done it in the past, but in your packets, you got this, and look at what we're giving away. We're giving away a membership if you get at least 11 or 6 to 10. We've got some very generous ones, and also if you're the overall winners, you will get convention, some of the convention paid for too. This, if you go to your website, it just launched, thank you Linda, this week, so it's got a really nice blast going on the website. So please spread the word. It's a good campaign. It's going to run until the end of August. And lastly, the 2020 convention program planning group, we're going to pledge to give you an inspiring and hopefully a very affordable convention next year in Denver. Now lastly is engaging. And sometimes we know that this is, a routine word, but I really challenge you that we have got to step up. This is your organization. It's not mine, it's everyone's. So I really encourage people to step up. There are, as I feel, you cannot learn unless you engage. There are easy ways to step up. We don't have to mean that everybody is on track to be on the board or the president, but I want to share with you some of the small ways in which you can step up. We track how many hits we get on our website, on our social media. We track how many people actually open up the focus. And some of the numbers are rather disappointing. So we realize that people are not engaging. When they say they don't even know what the recognition program is, we know they're not reading. They're not reading their emails. They're not reading their focus newsletter. So I am really challenging people, just at least skim and look at your emails. There's a lot of great information. There's articles that we send out in those e-blasts and research articles. So that is the first challenge. The second one is pledge to yourself that you will at least look our website at least 1 to 2 times in a month. We are finding that we're trying to drive a lot more of our links and everything back to our own website because our numbers were not looking so good in early 2018. We have a new communication coordinator, and I think she's doing a great job on social media. So please like us on Facebook. We're on Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. And those are kind of fun sites. Emily's been putting up some interesting posts. Second, next is volunteer and lead. And that can be at the chapter level. We need people locally because we know that some of our more active chapters are getting 30, 40, 50, and up in Canada, they often get 75 attendees to their annual conventions. What we need to do, of course, is try to convert some of those people into active members. So just get involved locally, regionally, or nationally. Step up to some of our committees. Next is write for our journal, and a lot of you sitting out here, our crowd has gone away, but I know many of you have actually written for the journal. We really are encouraging, try to find colleagues. If you find interesting cases, please write for us. And I certainly am a big person to say take or retake your certification exam if you're eligible. We really want people to recognize our certification. We want you to demonstrate that you have that expertise, you have that knowledge, and you have to be proud of yourself, whether you get a pay raise or not. You know, it's just something to be very proud of. And lastly, we really want more of you. And I wish there was younger people here. We're down to a small crowd here, but more than anything, you know, we need you to tell your colleagues about how good the programming can be here, about the networking that occurs. We've all become some families. I'm looking at this older group of people, and we enjoy coming here. So please, you know, talk it up and bring members. We need more of you. So that's it. I really want you to just step up, lead, learn, and engage in dermatology.